Hey everyone, Elizabeth here. The last laugh delivers stories that leave you speechless. If you're here for it, hit subscribe and let's go. The invitation arrived 3 months before the wedding. Heavy cream cardstock with gold embossing, the kind that screams, we spent $8 per invitation. My brother Derek and his fiancée Amber request the honor of your presence at their union, formal attire required, adults only reception to follow. Adults only. I remember staring at that line, wondering if it applied to me. I'm 34 years old. I own a successful event planning company called Milestone Events. Over the past 8 years, I've coordinated everything from intimate garden weddings to corporate galas for 500 people. My client list includes 2 state senators, the CEO of a regional hospital network, and more wealthy families than I can count. Last year, my company grossed $890,000 in revenue. But to my family, I'm still just Emma, the baby sister who plays party planner, while everyone else has real careers. Derek is a mid-level insurance adjuster. He makes $67,000 a year and thinks he's a titan of industry. Our older sister Rachel is a dental hygienist married to a pharmaceutical sales rep. They have 2 kids and a mortgage they complain about constantly. Our parents are retired, dad from the post office, mom from being a school secretary. They're good people. Solid, working class, practical people who believe in steady paychecks and benefits packages and 401 Burmese chots. They don't understand what I do. They don't want to understand. When are you going to get a real job? Dad asked at Easter dinner last year. Something with stability? I have stability, I'd said. I own my own company. But you're dependent on other people's events, Mom chimed in. What happens when people stop getting married? They've been saying versions of this for 8 years. At first, it hurt. Then it angered me. Now it just feels like background noise, predictable, ignorant, irrelevant. I RSVP'd yes to the wedding because that's what you do for family, even when family makes you feel invisible. The problems started 3 weeks before the big day. I'd offered, multiple times, to help with the planning. I do this professionally. I have vendor relationships, industry discounts, and 8 years of experience avoiding common wedding disasters. But Amber's mother Sharon was handling everything because she used to work in hospitality. She was a Holiday Inn front desk clerk in 1987. We don't need your help, Amber told me over the phone, her voice saccharine sweet with underlying condescension. Sharon has it completely under control. You just focus on showing up and looking pretty. Looking pretty. Like I was ornamental. Useless. I swallowed my pride and sent a gift from their registry, the $340 Dutch oven they deselected. I received a text from Derek 2 days later, got the pot. Thanks I guess. No actual thank you card. No acknowledgement that I'd spent a significant amount of money on them. Just thanks I guess. The seating chart arrived via email 1 week before the wedding. I opened the attachment and scanned for my name. Table 1, parents of bride and groom. Table 2, wedding party. Table 3, extended family and close friends. Tables 4 through 8, various relatives, college friends, work colleagues. Table 9, kids table, Emma Morrison, plus assorted children ages 4 to 10. I read it 3 times, certain I'd misunderstood. I called Derek. Hey, he answered, distracted. What's up? I'm kind of busy, the seating chart has me at the kids' table. Silence. Then, oh. Yeah. Space was limited, and Sharon thought since you're single and don't have kids, you might enjoy keeping the children entertained. You're good with kids, right? I'm 34 years old, Derek. I know, but it's just logistics. Don't make it a big thing. Where is this table located? More silence. I think Sharon said something about the kitchen area? But it's a nice kitchen. The venue's kitchen is really spacious, I hung up. My hands were shaking. Not with sadness. With something colder, clearer. Resolve. I called the venue, Thornfield Estate, a historic mansion I knew well. I'd coordinated 3 weddings there over the years. I asked for the event manager, Caroline. Emma. How are you? Caroline's warm voice filled the phone. I heard your brother's getting married here. That's wonderful. Caroline, can you tell me about the kids' table set up for the Morrison Prescott wedding? Oh. Her tone shifted. Yes, that was, well, the bride's mother insisted. It's in the service corridor outside the kitchen. Not technically in the kitchen itself, but it's away from the main reception hall. She said it was to minimize disruption from children. And I'm seated there. I saw that on the chart. Caroline sounded uncomfortable. Emma, I assumed there was some mistake. There wasn't. I'm so sorry. That's incredibly disrespectful, especially given your standing in the industry. Is there anything I can do? No. But thank you for being honest with me. After I hung up, I sat in my home office, the one in my paid-off townhouse with the custom built-ins and the view of the river, and made a decision. I would go to this wedding. I would wear the $600 dress I'd already purchased. I would smile and be gracious. And then I would leave. Not dramatically. Not angrily. I would simply extract myself from people who made it abundantly clear where I ranked in their priorities. The wedding day was perfect. 72 degrees, cloudless sky, gentle breeze. I arrived at Thornfield Estate at 3:45 p.m. for the 4 o'clock ceremony. My dress was emerald silk, professionally tailored. My hair was done. I looked successful, elegant, completely put together. I saw Rachel in the parking lot wrangling her kids. "Emma, you look nice. Can you help me carry this diaper bag?" "I need to find my seat," I said pleasantly, walking past her. The ceremony was beautiful, I'll give Amber that. The florals were gorgeous, though I could have gotten her a 20% discount with my preferred florist. The string quartet was excellent, though they were playing slightly out of tune, something most people wouldn't notice. The vows were traditional, heartfelt, totally fine. I sat in the back row. No one saved me a seat up front. After the ceremony, guests filtered into the reception hall while the wedding party took photos. The room was stunning: crystal chandeliers, ivory linens, gold Chiavari chairs. Tables were numbered with ornate gold frames. I found table 9. It was in the service corridor. A folding table with a plastic tablecloth. Plastic plates. Paper napkins. 6 children were already there, between ages 4 and 9, running around and screaming. No parents in sight, they were all at the nice tables inside. 1 chair remained. My place card, Emma. I stood there for exactly 30 seconds, watching a 4-year-old smear chocolate on the plastic tablecloth while 2 7-year-olds fought over a toy car. Then I smiled, turned around, and walked straight out the door. I passed Sharon in the hallway. "Emma, where are you going? You need to help with the kids." "No," I said simply. "I don't. But we're counting on you. You should have thought of that before you seated me in a corridor with a plastic tablecloth." Her face went red. "You're being incredibly selfish." "Have a lovely evening," I said, and kept walking. I got to my car, took off my heels, and drove home. It was 5:47 p.m. By 6:15, I was in leggings and a sweatshirt, heating up leftover Thai food, and queuing up a murder documentary. My phone was on silent. By 7:30, I had 23 missed calls. I ignored them and watched my show. At 7:52, my doorbell rang. Insistent, continuous ringing like someone was leaning on the button. I opened it to find Rachel, still in her bridesmaid dress, mascara running down her face. "You have T.O. come back," she screamed. "No. Emma, please." The caterer left. They packed up everything. There's no food. There are 180 people with no dinner and Sharon is having a panic attack and Mom is crying and Derek is losing his mind and, why did the caterer leave? I don't know. Something about disrespect and breach of contract and they'll only talk to you. They won't answer Sharon's calls. They said to call Emma Morrison and until they speak to you, they're not serving anything. Emma, please. The deposit was $15,000 and it's gone and there's no food and the reception is falling apart. I looked at my sister, tears streaming down her face, literally begging on my doorstep. "Who's the caterer?" I asked calmly. "Morton's Premier Catering." I knew them. I'd worked with them on at least 20 events. The owner, Thomas Morton, was someone I'd built a solid professional relationship with over the years. We had mutual respect. He valued my business because I was organized, professional, and always treated his staff well. "What exactly happened?" I asked. Rachel was hiccuping now, struggling to breathe. Sharon was ordering them around like servants. She yelled at one of the servers for putting a fork on the wrong side of the plate. She told Thomas that if he couldn't handle simple instructions, she'd report him to the Better Business Bureau. Then she said, "Oh God, Emma," she said, "even Emma Morrison could do better than this, and she just plays at event planning." There it was. Thomas asked who Emma Morrison was, Rachel continued. "Someone told him you were the bride's sister-in-law, that you own Milestone Events." He went completely white. He asked if you were here. "They said you were at the kids' table." He went and looked at the kids' table setup, the plastic tablecloth, the corridor, all of it. Then he came back and said, "We're done. This event is over. Your deposit is forfeited for violation of Contract Section 14B, Treatment of Vendors. If Emma Morrison vouches for you, we'll consider returning. Otherwise, we're leaving." Emma. And then? He packed up everything. The appetizers, the entrees, the cake, everything. He loaded it back in the trucks and left. "Emma, there are 180 hungry people in there and no food and it's all falling apart." I leaned against my doorframe. "That's unfortunate." "Emma. Rachel, let me see if I understand this correctly. You all seated me, a professional event planner with an established reputation, at a kid's table in a service corridor with a plastic tablecloth. You allowed Sharon to insult me to a vendor I've worked with for years. You treated me like I was worthless. And now you want me to fix the problem you created by disrespecting both me and the people I do business with. Please, she whispered. Emma, please. Derek and Amber's wedding is ruined. No. Their reception is ruined. Because Sharon treated people badly and you all treated me badly, and Thomas Morton has standards. You're really going to let your own brother's wedding fail? I'm not letting anything fail. You all failed. I'm simply declining to clean up your mess. My phone was ringing again. Derek's number. I declined the call. Rachel's phone rang. She answered, hello? Then her face went white. Okay. I'll tell her. She hung up and looked at me with desperate eyes. That was the venue manager. She said if we don't have food service in the next 30 minutes, we're in violation of our contract with them too. We'll lose that deposit as well, another $8,000. Emma, that's $23,000 gone. Derek and Amber will be starting their marriage in massive debt. That sounds like a Derek and Amber problem. How can you be so cold? How can you all be so cruel? I shot back. For 8 years, you've dismissed my career, my success, my entire professional life. Tonight, you literally put me at a table meant for children because you think so little of me. And now, when your lack of respect has consequences, you expect me to save you. We didn't mean. Yes, you did. You meant every bit of it. You've always meant it. Rachel was crying harder now. What do you want? An apology? We're sorry. We're so sorry. Please, Emma. I don't want your panic-induced apology. I want you to go back to that reception and face the consequences of your choices. Emma, there are children there who haven't eaten. That one landed. I felt it in my chest. The children at my table? I asked quietly. Rachel nodded miserably. I closed my eyes. Thought about those kids, the ones who'd been screaming and running around, who'd also been shoved in a corridor because they were inconvenient. Give me your phone, I said. I called Thomas Morton directly. He answered on the first ring. Emma Morrison. His voice was warm but firm. I wondered if I'd hear from you. Thomas. I'm hearing there's a situation at Thornfield Estate. There is. I don't tolerate disrespect toward my staff. That woman violated 3 clauses of our service contract, including the treatment of vendors clause. The deposit is forfeit. We're done. I understand. And I want you to know I had no part in planning this event or in how you were treated. I know. I saw where they seated you. That told me everything I needed to know about how this family operates. Thomas, I have a favor to ask. Not for the bride or her mother. For the guests who had nothing to do with this, especially the children. Silence. What are you asking, Emma? Return to the venue. Serve the food. Bill me directly for everything, the full contracted amount plus an additional 30% for the disrespect and inconvenience. Emma, that's over $20,000. I'm aware. You going to pay for your brother's wedding reception out of your own pocket after they treated you like that? I'm going to pay to make sure innocent people don't suffer because of other people's cruelty. And I'm going to make sure you and your staff are compensated appropriately for dealing with a nightmare client and other pause. Then, you're a class act, Morrison. Always have been. Okay. We'll return. But I'm giving you a 20% discount on my end. And I'm adding a clause, if anyone from that family speaks to my staff again, we leave immediately and there are no refunds. That's more than fair. We'll be back in 40 minutes. And Emma? You're still one of the best event planners I've worked with. Don't let anyone make you doubt that. Thank you, Thomas. I hung up and looked at Rachel. The caterer will return. They'll serve the food. The reception will happen. Oh, thank God. She lunged forward to hug me. I stepped back. I'm not finished. Thomas is billing me directly. The total will be approximately $22,000. Her face went white. 22, Emma, that's insane. Let Derek pay. Derek doesn't have $22,000. If he did, you wouldn't be at my door begging. I do have it. I'll pay it. Consider it my wedding gift. But, in exchange, I have conditions. Anything. 1. You will all acknowledge publicly, to the guests, to each other, that I paid for this reception. No hiding it. No pretending it didn't happen. Everyone will know. Rachel nodded frantically. 2. No one speaks to the catering staff for the rest of the night. They serve, you eat, you say thank you if they ask if you need anything, and that's it. Sharon doesn't get to say a single word to them. Done. 3. The seating chart changes. I don't care where you put me, but it won't be at a kid's table in a corridor. And if you're smart, you'll put Sharon somewhere she can't cause more problems. We'll fix it. I promise. 4. When this is over, we're going to have a family meeting about respect. All of you. Including Mom and Dad. You're going to sit down and actually listen while I explain what I do, how much I make, and why your dismissiveness for the past 8 years has been both ignorant and hurtful. Yes. Absolutely. Whatever you want. Then go back and tell them the caterer is returning. Tell them I'm paying. Tell them I'm not coming back to the reception because I have no interest in celebrating people who treated me like garbage. But tell the guests, especially the children, that dinner is served. Rachel hugged me before I could stop her. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're saving us. No, I said quietly. I'm saving innocent people from your family's mistakes. There's a difference. She ran back to her car and sped away. I closed the door, walked back to my couch, and resumed my murder documentary. My Thai food was cold now, but I didn't care. The text started coming through around 9 p.m. Derek, thank you. I don't know what to say. We messed up. Badly. Mom, Emma, sweetheart, we need to talk. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Dad, your mother told me what you did. That took real character. We owe you an apology. Several apologies. Even Amber, I don't deserve your kindness. Thank you for saving our wedding. I'm ashamed of how we treated you. I didn't respond to any of them that night. At 10:47 p.m., I got a text from Caroline at the venue. Emma, I don't know what you did, but dinner service went perfectly. Thomas and his team were incredible. And I heard you paid for everything. That's extraordinary. For what it's worth, I told several guests what happened. Word is spreading. Your family is learning some hard truths tonight. That made me smile. The next morning, I woke up to an email from Derek with the subject line, "What we owe you." The body of the email was simple: "You paid $22,000 to save our reception after we treated you terribly. I'm setting up a payment plan to pay you back every penny. It might take me 3 years, but I will pay you back. And I will spend those 3 years being a better brother. I'm sorry, Em. We were wrong about everything." I wrote back, "Keep your money. Use it to build your marriage. Consider the $22,000 the cost of my family finally seeing me clearly." 3 weeks later, we had the family meeting. All of us, Mom, Dad, Derek, Amber, Rachel, and her husband Mike. I brought documentation. My tax returns from the past 3 years. Client testimonials. A portfolio of events I'd coordinated. Articles featuring my company in regional business publications. I walked them through it all. The revenue numbers. The client list. The industry recognition. The fact that I'd built something substantial, something successful, something real. "I'm not asking you to understand what I do," I said at the end. "I'm asking you to respect that it matters. That I matter. That treating me like a failure when I'm objectively successful is cruel and unfair." Mom cried. Dad apologized gruffly, clearly uncomfortable but sincere. Rachel admitted she'd been jealous. "You seemed so free and happy while I felt trapped." Derek just kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Amber spoke last. "My mother is horrified by how she behaved. She wants to apologize to you directly. She knows she destroyed our wedding through her own arrogance." "I don't need Sharon's apology," I said. "I need her to never treat service workers like that again." "She won't. I promise. It wasn't perfect. Years of dismissiveness can't be erased in one conversation. But it was a start. And more importantly, I'd learned something valuable: my worth doesn't require their validation. I'd built a life and a career I was proud of, with or without my family's approval. But having them finally see it, really see it, felt like coming up for air after years underwater. The kids' table in the kitchen was the last time they'd ever seat me anywhere but where I belonged, at the table with the adults, the professionals, the people who'd earned their place. Because I'd earned mine long before that wedding. I just hadn't demanded they acknowledge it. Now they had no choice. Have you ever been underestimated by your own family? How did you handle it? Share your experience in the comments below.